Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good Shabbos. I'm standing in our chapel right in front of this beautiful stained glass window, and there's a reason for that, and that is because our Torah portion, B'Shalach, has to do with the crossing of the Sea of Reeds, and this window depicts that scene. It's hard to see, perhaps, but you see the sea parting, there's blue separating, you see fire, and that is that the Israelites were led at night by fire and during the day by a cloud. You don't see any little Israelites running through this, but it is a magnificent representation of what happens in this Torah portion. Just to go back just a bit, with the last plague, which we talked about last Shabbat, which is the slaying of the firstborn. And when it affects Pharaoh's own household, that is when he really responds, and that's when he finally says, get out, leave, middle of the night, I don't want you here anymore. Obviously, he has a change of heart even with that, and as the Israelites are fleeing, Pharaoh and his armies and chariots and horsemen, they're following in pursuit. And we get to one of these situations that the Jewish people have really faced so many times, and that is being trapped. They're up against the sea. It's really the Sea of Reeds. We may go back to that. Not really the Red Sea. And that's when a miracle happens. That's when Moses raises his staff, and you know how that story goes, but the Midrash says when Moses raises his staff, nothing happens at all. There is no miracle until one Jew, Nachshon ben Aminadab, decides, I'm not waiting for any miracle, I'm going to jump in and start swimming. And when one Jew takes the initiative, the sea then opens, everyone follows, dry land, Egyptians come after them, sea closes. There are so many interesting comments one could make about this. First of all, on the other side, we have the song of Moses and then Miriam, and we get the Micha Mocha, and the angels on high are cheering and singing and celebrating, and God silences them and says, wait a minute, the Egyptians are my people too. So even our enemy, there's compassion for the enemy, that the enemy had to suffer. Another fine point is it's really Yam Suf, it's the Sea of Reeds. It's a mistranslation, Red Sea. And archaeologists say that the Nile River, which is one of the only rivers that flows from the south to the north, it flows up, and at the top of the Nile you have these rivulets, and it is known that there's times and seasons when they're filled with water, and there are times of the year when they're actually dry. And could it be that Moses, as a prince of Egypt, knew when to cross, when not to cross? So that could be a possible explanation. I like the explanation of miracle. I think it's one of the greatest miracles. And the point is that there are miracles all around us. I am a miracle. You are a miracle. Rachel Thomas is a miracle, whose video. We're all miracles. You just have to open your eyes and see the extraordinary in the ordinary. This portion, if you would look at it, is unique. It's like waves. There's a song at the beginning of the wilderness experience, and then Ha'azinu, a song at the end of the experience. But this song looks like moving waves. Interestingly enough, the liberation of our people in Egypt has a bit of a connection to what we're commemorating this Friday night, because this Friday night is Holocaust Remembrance Day, and it marks the moment, January 27, 1945, that Auschwitz was liberated. And so there are many times during the year, like Kristallnacht and Yom HaShoah, that we commemorate and think about the Holocaust and remember. I thought I would also mention that this spring, right after Pesach, right after the Passover story, beginning on April 8, many of us, my wife Peggy and I, will be leading a mission which is going to visit Auschwitz and be there on Yom HaShoah and join March of the Living, which is 14,000 other many teens and young adults and adults to walk the same death march. And from there, we're going to spend time in Poland and also Berlin and also Prague. So you'll be getting more information about that. We would love for you to join us if that works for you. It's the kind of a journey that none of us are really looking forward to, but in a sense, so important to do this and to never forget. So Friday night services are at 7:30, and we invite you to join us. Rabbi Isaacs is going to be leading that service with Cantor Neal and Murray Savar. And we look forward to seeing you all weekend. There's a whole weekend of activities. In any case, we do sing out of thanksgiving that we are here at this time and at this place, and we are free, and free to make good decisions. Shabbat Shalom.